Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another One Piece chapter review. Chapter 1140. Let's see, Scopper Gaban. This chapter is pretty much a follow-up from the last chapter in which the Straw Hats, the Straw Hat trio of Luffy, Nami, and Zoro, along with Road, explore the Elbaf Castle where they see the remains and all that stuff. And then they meet a mysterious old figure who turned out to be the Pirate King's left-hand man, Scopper Gaban. Though granted, the Straw Hats there do not know who he is, except minus Road, who is revealed to be Scopper Gaban is also revealed to be Colin's father. So yeah, he leads them to where the key is to free Loki, but challenges Luffy to a fight, saying he must steal the key from him if he is to proceed with his plans. But yeah, that's basically what happened last chapter. But anyway, we're here to discuss the new chapter now. But before that, we've got the Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 26, in which we got Uti. If anything happens to Pepe, I'll hunt you to the depths of hell and beat you to death. As we got confirmation that the two people that were captured last chapter are actually Uti and Page 1. Let's see where we see she is tied up to a huge dartboard where knives have been thrown all around her. Let's see, for the most part, it seems to have missed her, but there are a few parts, especially around the waist and the right shoulder, where she has been stabbed, and you can see blood pouring out there. Of course, given from what her anger is, she's more concerned about her brother than herself. As you just got who's who, just licking his lips, smiling as he's just throwing knives as darts towards her. Well, you got a lot of the feline beast pirates just laughing in the background, if you will. Anyway, it's nice confirmation that we got there is Uti. And also recently, I believe we've gotten some SBS confirmation that Uti and Page 1 are actually children of the warlord that Ace defeated. I can't recall his name. And that he was in partnership with Kaido for getting Zonin Devil Fruits, but Ace defeated him, and then when he tried to go see his children, he was killed after losing his status as a warlord. So, yeah, kind of tragic on how they lost their father there. But nevertheless, it all sort of ties into like this interesting backstory for these two that sadly we never really got to get full on see, but nevertheless, it is nice to learn all that, but it's also kind of like makes sense why perhaps Uti is so possessive and protective over her little brother, if you will. So, yeah. But anyway, I do like the setup here. You've got basically, let's see, we do know that Husu never really liked the two youngest members of the Topiropo. So, we have that. But I do like how she's still remaining angry and defiant against him. But yeah. But clearly the setup is basically for Yamato to rescue them, and then let's see Yamato and Page 1 to work under Yamato, if you will. I'm not sure they're going to form their own pirate crew or just become a path of redemption to try and help the people of Wano. But either way, it's a nice little setup. Anyway, on to the actual chapter where Luffy's just responding about how they just came for the key and just give it as he responds to Scopper Gaban's challenge of taking the key by force, if you will. With Road going like, so yeah, what is the meaning of this? With Scopper Gaban saying, let's see, asking what's wrong, can't you do it? Sorry. Luffy getting mad, jumps off, saying, okay, that's it. With Nami trying to cry out. But Zoro is thinking what Colin said about how his dad used to be a pirate, and how the giants of Elbaf can't hold their own against him and all that stuff. As Zoro was just pretty much guessing that, okay, this must be Colin's dad if I had to guess. So yeah, Luffy tries to grab the Gin, Scopper Gaban moves it to the side. Luffy, he keeps dodging Luffy's gum attacks. But Luffy's just trying to say to him, look, I just want to meet Loki so I can go back to the feast quickly. Let's see, with Gaban saying, like, just take it from me, if you will. Oops. As, let's see, Luffy's responds that he will. Attempts more grabs, but then Luffy realizes that Scopper Gaban is hockey as he enchants his key causing a huge whack as Luffy's managed to dodge it. And you see lightning coming out, though granted, which has led to a big debate on whether or not Scopper Gaban has Conqueror's Haki. So, yeah. Here we are. With that part of discussion that the chapter has caused. But, oops. Scopper Gaban continues to, Road tries to tell Scopper to wait. Army warns Luffy that she's being reckless, if you will. Luffy starts getting mad, saying with Scopper Gaban, saying that's a nifty straw hat that Luffy's got, asking if it better look. It says it looks better than you in a helmet, but Luffy talks about how it's a treasure that he got from Shanks, and he's holding on to him, so telling him to give it the key. Let's see. Scopper Gaban teasing Luffy about how he only been holding on for him. Didn't he give it to you, saying that, calling him a cheapskate? And Luffy gets mad, saying that's not what it means, you dumbass. And also not to call Shanks a cheapskate. Let's see, as talking about how Gaban has no idea about him, which is a bit ironic, if you will, because Luffy has no idea what he's talking about. So Gaban then forces the key inside Luffy's mouth, if you will. And you've got to see his head forming the shape of the key, if you will. With him going you have to talk, boy, as the key causes a bit more damage. Anyway, Gaban then draws out Axis or Notice, and Scopper Gaban uses a move called Yasuko Takaru, which shocks Luffy, and as Gaban's throwing, Zoro shouts, Luffy, look out, as you see a bunch of axe slashes, but Zoro blocks it before they hit Luffy, causing a bit of the castle to fall apart from all the slashing. With Gaban saying that Luffy's got a good crew. Roll and Nami are both shocked what's going on. Luffy turns into Gear 5. He picks up an axe. Zoro, he's got all three of his swords. He says, let's go, Zoro. And he responds and saying yeah. As Gaban's just smiling about how Luffy looks in all white. And as you see a bit of the castle falling down to the surface. Zoro shouting how you're going to get it now. But Gaban, with a glint in his eye, drops his axes and shouts, I yield, as the two sort of crash in. Perhaps a bit surprised by Scopper Gaban's work. Oops, looks like my Chromebook needs a bit of charging. Let's see, it's got less charging than I thought. But yeah, so he yields. And this is where you get Luffy and Zoro getting mad, telling them not to play around, and it's just Gaban just laughing out, saying, don't get so mad, I was just joking around. Luffy, of course, but saying, you can't pass off as a joke as you tried to kill us. With him asking, are you really actually dead? Let's see, and Gaban pointing out to Luffy that the key's already in your possession. With Rhodes saying, ultra rare Luffy, if you don't know who this man is. With Gaban telling Rhodes not to get ahead of himself and telling Luffy, saying that picking up his gi and all that clothing, if you will, his cloak and hat, saying if Elbaf is still intact by the time you are leaving this island, telling him to come see him again, as he's smiling at that. But Luffy and Zoro are why would I do that? I never want to see you again. As Luffy goes yeah, you idiot, thanks for taking us to Kido, saying that we'll never meet again, as Gaban thinks back to Shanks, see when he's got having a conversation clearly about Luffy with Scopper Gaban saying, wow, Shanks, what makes you think I'm going to trust this guy? With Shanks going, haha, good point, do as you will with him, Gaban, showing that they've had at least a meeting and talking about Luffy, and it seems like Gaban is actually now satisfied with what he does. There's actually more to the page, but I'm just going to scroll back to beginning of the chapter. First of all, I do like how Luffy's at first a bit reluctant to fight until Gaban is teasing. It's a sort of classic standard where Luffy doesn't when Luffy doesn't want to fight someone, but once he gets egged on, he will do so. I mean, Luffy arguably of course, doesn't always get into like every petty scrap, for example, like with Bellamy, but I think of once he's been teased that he can't do something, he'll probably try and prove them wrong. So at the very least, I do like that. I do like how Zoro is able to deduce that, okay, this must be Colin's father. Of course, he's unable to deduce that Scappa Gabon is actually, let's see, that Colin's father is actually Scappa Gabon, a member of the Pirate King's crew. So it seems like he at least hasn't really heard too much about at least the left hand of the Pirate King. Granted, Rayleigh was well known, so arguably Scappa Gabon should be as well known, though that's arguably not as well known, at least like the Pirates of East Blue. So the Straw Hats of East Blue, but yeah, wherever. Anyway, I do like how Scappa Gabon is doing quite a fair share against the fight of Luffy, able to dodge for most part attacks from like Luffy's base form and all that. So, but yeah, that's pretty let's see, good. I just like how Luffy's just being, granted, Luffy might just be being a bit patient because he wants to just get the key so he can go back to the feast after talking to Loki. He's arguably still prioritizing that feast. Though granted, it seems like he probably should have paid more attention to the feast, really, but we'll have to wait and see on that part. As for Scappa Gabon's hockey display, while it is impressive, I'm not certain it's a Conqueror's hockey thing. Granted, Oda doesn't always make it clear, but I think it's not. Let's see, it's not that at the moment. I mean, if we see now, will Scappa Gabon have Conqueror's hockey? Who knows? I mean, it would probably make sense. Though, granted, let's see. If it does, that probably means that Sanji's going to get it at some point as well. And from what I could tell, Sanji didn't really look like the type that would acquire Conqueror's hockey, but who knows? But yeah, my sense is it's not Conqueror's hockey right now until we get more clarification, particularly about Scappa Gabon himself and if Oda says in like a SBS or a few chapters back, but yeah. And I do like how Scappa Gabon teases Luffy about how he's got like borrowing Shanks' straw hat, if you will, because Luffy is still like that, and it's like teasing like, oh, Shanks being a cheapskate and not being a cheapskate and not giving Luffy the hat permanently. So we all know that Luffy was going to like try at some point give back the straw hat to Shanks to prove that he's become a good pirate. However, that meeting seems like it's going to happen soon, and arguably, I think Scappa Gabon saying that you don't need to borrow that hat; you're now its rightful owner, if you will. And anyways, Luffy has earned it by rising to the status of Yonko. Not to mention, it's his crew. The hat is his crew's signature marking, signature symbol. So you probably be better off keeping it. But yeah, that might be just a little bit of a character growth for Luffy here. Is that he finally accepts that he has permanently gotten the hat. And maybe it might lead to him to finally accepting that let's see, he's the sun god Nico and all that stuff. But I guess it depends how Oda wants to play with that part. But nevertheless, I do find it funny how Scappa Gabon is able to shove the key into Luffy's mouth and take shape. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Gear 5 humor, but it's just base Luffy form. But yeah. Let's see, so we got that. Other than that, I am glad we got to see a attack move from Scappa Gabon with the Yasho Tekeru, where he just draws to his axes and slashes about. And I do like Zoro was able to block the attack. Frankly, I think it would make sense for Zoro at this stage to be able to block this attack. If Scappa Gabon was in his prime, it might be a lot more difficult. Maybe he wouldn't be able to block it, but yeah. Anyway, I do like that we got to see him using the axe after all the hype about him having axes. So, yeah, that is good. Let's see. I do like this impressive feat we got to see from the axes of the fact that part of the castle comes tumbling down to the ground. I do like how this Nami Road are just so shocked by this display of action there, as they probably don't really want to get in part of the violence, if you will. But I do like how you got Luffy and Zoro tag teaming. Let's see, Zoro drawing like his hockey from his swords, getting ready, and then Luffy turning into Gear 5. I do like how Gaban knows that Luffy, the Gear 5 form actually is, because it makes sense as he is in the Pirate King's crew. But I do like how he's just like immediately surrendering as just as Zoro and Luffy are a ready to charge. So yeah, which I do like because it's like okay, Gaban might do well against a base-born Luffy or Zoro, but if like their peak, like for example Luffy with Gear 5 or the early stages of Luffy Gears 5. Let's see, Gaban should not be that strong enough to at his age to take on Gear 5 Luffy. But yeah, nevertheless, I do like how he just ends up yielding, and then they got like Zoro and Luffy sort of crashing, if you weren't getting a little bit mad at him. But yeah, but I do like Gaban says you already acquired the key, so you don't need to bother me at the moment. But let's see, and even though granted is correct, let's see some people about how the ghosts. Let's see, hold on. Whoops, sorry, my bad. I've been watching too much Danny Phantom. I've been thinking about them just for a second, but yeah. Anyway, I do like how let's see, Scapel Gaban goes about how, like I was saying, about how he already got the key. So let's see, and just showing like telling Luffy not to get ahead of himself and not be cocky, if you will. And but I do like how let's see, Road is trying to tell Luffy to show some respect to like a Gaban, but yeah. But I do like how Gaban's just casually picking up his clothes and saying, "Next, come and see me when all this is over." And the events of Elbaf, if it's not destroyed by Loki. So yeah, I do like how the Straw Hats are there. So like we'd ever trust you for that kind of recruitment, which is a shame because they probably get quite a fair share of pirate crew members there. But let's see, it is what it is. So yeah. Oops, sorry. But yeah, of course, Luffy and Zoro are just annoyed, and they don't quite realize that who this person is, and decide to not want to see them again. Which makes me imply that after the events of Elbaf, you get Gaban probably explains to Luffy the events of God Valley incident, or at least we'll send them to like that area. But never mind that. I do like how Gaban's thinking to like the Shanks, and Shanks seems to be putting a good word for Luffy, but Gaban wants to try and confirm it for himself. So I do like how this seems to be a bit of a plan that Shanks had, but let's see, Gaban is doing his own thing, but comes to see why Shanks values let's see, peace and all that stuff. So yeah, that's basically what happens in that part of the chapter. Arguably, you're off to a good start. Anyway, continuing on with like let's see, from like the page where I cut off, but this time you get back at the school where kids are telling the teacher to look. See, as they point out that there's this weird bird up in the sky, but she cannot see it as it's already sort of started landing. With Gonko going on how let's see, in the Sun World saying that even in there, if they have a choice, they serve to us on a platter. Let's see, sort of talking about how let's see, talking about how let's see, everything's set up ready for them to take the kids, if you will. But anyway, Gonko, let's see, is just making a call as Shamrock is telling her to go ahead as a new sort of demon circle pops out. Black Hierarchy emerges. Well, Flame Cat, as you get a silhouette of this dude saying, "All right, fine, I'm willing to go. Just give me a minute." And then see sort of dragon-like figure that makes you think a little bit like kind of going like, where are we leaving from? Where's the assist? As you get a double-page spread of introducing two new gods knights. One of them is Holy Knight Shepherd Family Saint Somers, and the other is Holy Knight Rimoshi Family Saint Killan. I might be pronouncing it wrong. One is basically a bearded old dude that, let's see, casually dressed. You can argue he hasn't put any trousers on. And the other's a quickie work. He seems to be a mythical Zoan user who tripped while trying to get here on time because he figured like he would be summoned. So yeah. Anyway, you hear the words with like let's see, Saint someone saying like, aren't we? I mean, aren't we supposed to get some time to change at least? As he's just chalking his chair, not realize he's been teleported, half dressed, and he goes like trying to persuade them to just wait an hour for him and all that stuff. So other things. Let's see, talking about the food situation up in up in the Holy Lands due to Revolutionary Army's campaign against their supplies. So you got that. As you get Saint Solomon's going like, "What is it, Gunther? Why are you in my house?" And this seems to rage like the world nobles around. But wait, hold on, no, that's sorry, Saint Summer's saying all that stuff. Thinking that they're stuck in his house, where you got Saint Summers blushing in embarrassment, and then you've got the two new God's Knights realizing, wait, we're in Elbaf, as you see. Let's see, Saint Somers, if you will. I think some translations call him Saint Summer. Goes on about how. Let's see, putting on his trousers, going like, "Who grabs my entire ruining sofa, including me?" Really, as he's a bit annoyed that he's been teleported in the middle of what he's relaxing. As the other one goes like, "So this is the land of the giants." Talking about how huge it is, and he looks pretty big due to his mythical zone in form, if you will. As Shamrock ends up saying, "We only need one." Well, two if you hear of them. Let's see, one called, I think. Here it is. Remo Shifu is just going like, hold on. Let's see. So you've got like it tries to explain to Shamrock that let's see that as a commander he's going back because he's got orders from above, with Shepard saying that's the deal. Shamrock is going like listening into like I believe Bartholomew. Let's see, Bartholomew. No. Let's see. I'm mistaking Bartolomeo with Bartholomew Kuma. How embarrassing of me. Sorry about that. I must be really tired. But anyway, Saint Shepard saying yes. Saint Somerset going like yes. Situation in the Holy Land's rather dire. Saying especially everything that's gone wrong with the Reverie, and saying that it's going to go wrong since then, and saying that his presence will benefit everyone's Shamrock. With him explaining, of him learning about what's the situation and asking what the situation of the mission is, and saying what they're going to do with the unaffiliated country. Asking if they're paying a visit to Harold's grave, hinting at some sort of connection that the God's Knights have with King Harold. And anyway, we get here to see Saint Selma is fully dressed, looking very much British or French classic military era, if you will, from like I guess the age of pirates. But as you see kids Ritzy playing about, he goes like, "Okay, guy," saying that you want me to kidnap some kids and take them to the hostage of the Holy Land, but saying that they're too big to stuff into snacks though. But here's sort of like part Remo Shifu is going like how those without the marks cannot travel through the abyss, and that it says that means they have to sail them back. You got going like, "What are you?" See, as someone I think she's being annoyed that Saint Summers is just asking her to like let's use her powers to carry them all, but she's not having it. But Saint Shamrock just basically says, "You know what? With your powers, you can make it into a game, ending the chapter." Granted, I might have missed just taking that your powers bit, but nevertheless, the chapter's ended with the game being declared by Saint Shamrock. He's smiling on menacing, and that's the end of the chapter. Okay, first of all, I do like how the kids are able to point out like something's off with like the birds, so props to them on that. So yeah, that went pretty well. But of course, Gunko's got out of the way, and someone another circle, and we got, of course, two new God's Knights, and we learned that the circle thing is some sort of portal to the abyss, though we don't know what all the details about it yet. If I had to guess, it might be someone's bad dream thinking up of it, but it's like, who would wish for that as a nightmare? But nevertheless, that's as their dream. But yeah, anyway, a dream, wish, turn nightmare. Anyway, I do like how you got the classic Oda gives them black shirts to make them first look menacing, but then they look a bit more goofy, as you see, particularly Saint Somers, who's basically in his curtsy half-dressed. Granted, it's not as bad as, like, say, Gunko's with, like, the half-dressed and the lower half, but I think that's just Oda's doing more fan service here. It's a bit more comedy, so I think it works a bit better here. I do like how he seems to think that he's like still that everyone's still in like the Holy Land, and he's just kind of like can we just wait an hour and all that stuff. So it's like it seems he likes to avoid responsibility to some extent, but yeah, but anyway, I do like his sort of like laid back personality, but willing to take things serious when the time comes, which I'll get more to later. But anyway, we end up meeting also Saint Killaham, which turns out has a mythical zone, and I think from what I can describe from the Wikipedia, it seems to be a Quollen, where it seems to be a mix of lions or tigers, if you will, with like deer and other native species. But yeah, so it's a sort of mythical horse dragon thing, which it looks really with the sort of standard Oda sort of goofiness. So I do like seeing the designs of like these. Let's see if this awakened devil fruit user and giving more hints that are more out there, and even perhaps maybe Logia. But yeah, but I do like the shocked reactions that everyone's saying that we're an Elbaf. Let's see. You've got Shepard under sort of complaining about having like who grabs an entire room when he's in the middle of something, but as he's just trying to quickly put his clothes back on, which I do find hilarious. I mean, that is definitely hilarious. So yeah, I enjoyed watching that part of the chapter. And I think we've all had that moment. It's like we forgot something and then quickly dressing just to be properly make sure it's secure. So I can relate to that to some extent, but yeah. But yeah, but it is interesting that Shamrock is being called back by the God's Knights to get back to Burke, which I guess he's probably going to be promoted to Supreme Commander, since the Supreme Commander of the God's Knights, his father, is now a member of the Five Elders. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, but I could be wrong. So yeah, there was that at the very least. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I do like how Shepard is able to deduce what the mission is, and let's see, at least guessing, okay, you're not here for sightseeing, but the interesting thing of it is dialogue is the fact that he brings up, you fear to visit King Harold's grave, so that leads into the theory that either one, they're working together, which is, like I said before, is not really the one I'm looking forward to, or more like the God's Knights, the ones that actually killed the previous king, and then Loki got the frame for the crimes, so yeah. But anyway, I do like how when you get Saint Somers back in his like military God's Knight uniform, he looks a little bit like serious, and it's like, okay, I'm ready to do like the batch of orders you've sent me, Shamrock, ready to kidnap these kids. So comments about how, let's see, it'd be a bit hard to like do so, but I do like how kids are just playing in the background while these pirates are talking about their futures, if you will. Let's see, I think even some suggestions of using the Abyss, but as the new Dragon Snake dude, which I will admit, still going to get so used to, points out that the Mark of the Abyss doesn't work like that, but otherwise it would have sailed a long time ago. But yeah. Anyway, I do like how Gunko just seems to be a bit annoyed with just every one of the God's Knights being embarrassed when they're half dressed and getting annoyed when they are like talking about these sort of strategies he thinks are dumb. So I wonder how that will play out. But yeah, either way, I do like how Shamrock is just so menacing and talking about how they got to turn this into a game of kidnapping giant kids. So yeah, he's like a scary man. But yeah, but we'll have to. Now, what kind of game this is, I have no idea, but I assume that it will probably be similar to like God Valley, but maybe not actually a similar massacre since they need all the giant kids in order to control them. But we'll have to wait and see how that plan works out. But yeah, overall, it's a very good chapter. Though, granted, it's a bit quick. I admit I'm a lot quicker reviewing this chapter than I have been for a while. If I had to say, I will admit I liked seeing the fight between Luffy and Scopper. Let's see. Clearly, Scopper could at least take on base level of Luffy, but when it comes to like some of the more gears, he won't probably stand a chance, and that's why he yielded. I do like how you got Zoro coming in a bit, showing that sort of, let's see, the friendship of the right-hand man. But anyways, it's probably making Scopper a bit nostalgia for Roger. And I think there might be some eyelids that Gabon did that is... hold on. Let's see. So let's say scroll. Oh yeah, let's see Scopper Gabon's eyes, and you're wondering if he might be possibly thinking about his time under the Roger Pirates, but no, that might not be the case. But nevertheless, I do like how he yields and then talk about meeting him again. I do like how he also seems to have met Shanks. This might imply that this was a catch up with old friend theory, and that now he's seen what if you can do. So he's like, okay, yeah, I can trust the key to him, Shanks, like that. But I do like also that he sort of brings up the fact that Luffy perhaps may need to keep his hat, as it's now become his official signature, not Shanks's. So yeah, as well as like the signature of his crew. Other than that, I do like how the kids of Giants are able to point out what's going on in the burns, showing that they have been taught something. And you've got someone called Al D. Sony saying, yo, going like, what, if you're a boy, Al D. Zoni. Hello, Al D. Zoni. I'm just getting close to wrapping my thoughts. Let's see. I talked about how I like how Scopper Gabon is able to take on base Luffy, even if it's not like actually winning. But when it comes to the other gears, he'll get crushed, and why probably he'd yield when he saw Gear 5th. But I do like that it is confirmation he does know what Gear 5th is, actually, and what the nature of the Nika fruit is. So there's that. But yeah, other than that, I did enjoy seeing, like, let's see the Guards Knights going like, wait, you're behind. If you're talking about chapter 1141, let's see, that's coming officially out on Viz tomorrow, and I always review the Viz chapters. So I'm just doing this chapter now, review, so that I can, let's see, not be behind when officially chapter 1141 comes out, and I can review at some point next week. So, yeah. So that's basically what I'm doing. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I like the stuff, like what we saw with Scopper Gabon, the fight. I do like how with the Guards Knight, so we got a few more goofier ones, either be it the ones that are well noble that trips, rushing here, or another that's just so casual. He's not properly dressed before being summoned. So yeah, I like this dynamic. I am curious to see who ends up fighting who. If I had to guess, since Shepard got a sword, he might be Zoro's opponent here. Now, granted, I'm not sure if every Guards Knight will show up, as I think they're being built up to later antagonists. So, yeah, props to that. But yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, I do like how we've got Shepard Summer is actually from the same family as Saint Jupiter Shepard, if you will. So they're from the same family. Whether or not there's a direct relation, be it like grandson, grandnephew. Let's see, being son might be a bit too unrealistic. And he's just like, we've got Aldi saying going like goofy nights. Yeah, I do like the little goofy ministers there. As I think it adds a bit more fried to the crew, as it would be pretty boring if they're all stiff, cold-hearted killers. But yeah, nevertheless, I wouldn't be surprised when they actually take action. They're serious because they are world nobles. Even like the sort of one that's got like that mythical Chinese dragon hybrid, which is supposed to be good luck and fortune, from my understanding. But nope, it's been corrupted by the bad guys. So but yeah. So I do like all those details of like let's see, seeing those goofy guards knights, and then let's see Shamrock's being summoned back, which is likely perhaps maybe a full-on promotion to Supreme Commander, or he's tasked to do something up there. And then of course let's see, you've got like whoops. You think Summers is going to fight Sanji? Arguably, that could possibly work since they usually end up fighting. Sanji does end up usually fighting the more goofier member of the top henchman of a group. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Anyway, but yeah, I do like how whoops. Let's see, when all like all else is failing, Shamrock is doing some sort of menacing stitsy idea of a game, which, given the previous games, was like a genocide pretty much. I doubt it'll be that, but nevertheless, because they're trying to capture all the children, it's not going to be pretty. But yeah, overall, I give this chapter like a sort of 8 to 8.5 out of 10. Good chapter, maybe a bit quick. Let's see, but other than that, I do like the Zoro Luffy team up against Gaban. Gaban showing off her skills. And of course, like everything going on with the Gods Knights. So yeah, but I'm just repeating that myself, going like, and Aldi's on his like, oop, NP man, no problem, man. That's fair. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, but overall, I'd give this chapter like I said, 8.8 out of 10. Bit quick, but it does well with like the Luffy Gaban stuff, and as well as the Gods Knights. As Aldi Sunny says, I can't wait for Sunday reveals, so that's why I read early. Fair enough. I read them early as well, but I like to review with the official translations. But anyway, speaking of which, this review, you give it a 7. Fair enough. Yeah, it probably is a 7 to 8 out of 10, maybe somewhere in between. But yeah, that's arguably where I score. But yeah, pretty good chapter. Not the best, but definitely not one of the worst. So yeah, and there's quite a bit of hyping. Let's see for the Gods Knights. But anyway, I'm going on now. I'm Blue Star Saber, signing off. Thank you for listening in, particularly you, Aldi Zoni, and everyone. Good. But I was like with Aldi Sandbox going with one last question saying, why Shamak gotta leave, man? Well, I think as Mr. Moji is probably theorizing, is he's going back to help perhaps sort out with like the current food crisis, which I do like. That it shows that the revolutionaries' actions are working. But he's also probably now going to be officially promoted to like as the leader of the Roshian Sage or something, as I think he was ranked during the Tenro Bridge Island with someone like ranking above Urza. But yeah. But basically, I think he's going to be promoted to Supreme Commander. Let's see, with him going like CD starving for you, fair enough. But yeah, overall, it's like I said, 7 to 8 out of 10. Thank you, Aldi Z, for your comments. I'll be heading off now. So everyone, thank you and goodbye.